he's taking the first team reps at quarterback today?
Both guys are still competing. So did it last week, did it again today, and had good urgency there. So
When we all decide?
I don't know yet. So like I said, those guys are competing well, and coach will make that call when it's time.
What has Jeremy shown these especially the last week and a half or so, but not just that, the last probably 2 weeks, from a mental standpoint, when that was so much of the concern with all of it?
Yeah, some maturity, I think. The ability and the desire to fight and compete, which is what you want to see. And so I think his confidence has greatly improved, and I've liked what I've seen.
How's Xavier Dampier doing?
He's doing okay.
Is he going to be able to play against Kentucky?
I don't know at this point.
Who would be your second team center if Xavier can't play?
We got several options that we've kind of discussed throughout the summer, so we don't want to kind of divulge into all that too much.
Whoever the starting quarterback is, right, is the plan going to be to stick with one, or will there even be a possibility of a two-quarterback deal? I mean, not giving away too much schematically, but just
Right.
Is the plan to basically stick with whoever the starter is all the way through, barring injuries?
I think always the plan is to stick with how you start a game, because hopefully that means you're doing well. But both guys have been preparing to play, and so we'll just kind of see how that goes.
The Jeremy we saw at LSU and the game before that, I can't remember Jacksonville State, I guess, probably wasn't the guy that you thought he was. I mean, that's not the Jeremy we've seen for a number of years. Do you feel like maybe at practice, kind of getting his confidence back, he can become that guy that we kind of all thought he was?
I would like to think so.
Okay. Just kind of
It's like anything else in life. You can have a bad day, and I know that he'd be the first day that LSU wasn't his best day, and it wasn't. But you'd like to think that when a guy responds and wants to keep fighting and competing like he hadn't laid it down, and I think that's the first sign of that there's an opportunity for him to regain confidence and to regain, hopefully the form that he knows he's capable of playing in.
It's just a mental adjustment for him, you think?
It's a lot of things.
How has Sean handled the last week or so? I mean, everybody takes the perspective of
Right.
the job being open, but it was his position last 2 weeks. Just how's he handled?
Good. I think competition at any position is healthy, and so it's good for those guys to to have that urgency each day to bring their best. I think it makes both of them better, regardless of what we do. So the best thing about those two guys is, and I've been fortunate since I've been here, it was the same way with Nick and Jeremy. They get along great. They're good buddies. They still room together. I mean, so for not only for them but for our team, stuff like that is rare. But those guys are pulling for each other. Whenever the other guy's in there, they help each other out. So that's been a big plus for me, for my guys in that room, and really for our team.
Having the extra time to get ready for this game at this time of the season, how important is that for you?
Good. They're 4-1. They're playing really well. They give you a lot of multiple looks, and they're good at what they do. I mean, Coach Stoops is really good, and that defensive staff, and they do a good job. And so that's been good. The other part has been good to, not just y'all keep asking about the quarterback position, but everywhere. Ramp up the competition a little bit. Get some urgency going all across the board. I think that's been good. We need that, and it allowed everybody to kind of take their breath. We're 1-0 in October, and we know that the SEC grind is here, and so we've got to get better and better each week. It's been a good week. It's been good for us to get out and do some recruiting. So it's come at a good time for us.
Rhett, you've, to my knowledge, not been through anything struggles quite like this season. Just from a personal standpoint, how difficult has it been for you to deal with?
Well, I have been. I think we go to Arkansas State. We started the year 2-3, and we weren't very good. We went up to Nebraska, and they were better than us, but we probably played as poor as you could play. We came back home, played Western Kentucky, a team that was really good in our league. For the first half, I think we were up 13-0 at half. We were starting to play better, and then we just laid an egg in the second half and blew the game at home, first conference game. So we were staring 2-3 in the face. That was on a Saturday, and we had to go play at FIU on a Thursday night, 4-day turnaround. So we've been there. Look, it's not fun. Nobody wants to be seen as not playing to their expectations. But it's great for us. It's great for our kids. It's life. Everything doesn't always go perfect. And who's going to fight? Who's going to compete and have some urgency? Because at this point, all you can do is put your head down and try to go out the next game, take it one at a time and one day at a time and get better. So, you know, I think our guys, the best thing is they've stayed together. They haven't lost that fight. They haven't lost that energy and that pride that comes from winning an AU helmet. So we have that, we got a shot.
When Duke was drawing so many double teams, and that could probably get shifted to Ricardo now going forward, just how confident are you that Ricardo can handle that? It's not something he's had to face a lot previously.
You know, I don't know. And I think the good thing is, you know, we got to be a great team offense. You know, it's not, we don't have a bunch of individuals that are going to go out there and just make it all happen on their own. But that's really what offensive football is all about anyways. So it's got to be everybody. And it may be a different guy each game. It may be a different guy quarter to quarter from across the board at all positions. We've got to be a good team offense and just do what we're supposed to do and everybody pick each other up. So I don't know how that'll factor in, and I don't know, but other guys are going to have to step up.
Rhett, how have you seen Austin adjust at center? I mean, hadn't played there before this season. How is he coming along through 5 games and now bye week?
Yeah, some good and some bad. You know, he's our guy. We really believe in him, have from the start. And, you know, I think from a mental side, that's been the best thing is he's a pretty smart kid. And so I just think the more and more he plays, I mean, at the end of the day, he's only played 5 games in his life at center, and it's been in this league. So, you know, I'd just like to think he'll continue to get better. And, you know, the better he gets, the better it is for us, obviously. But he's overall done a nice job. There's plenty of area for improvement.
Is Tony Stevens a guy that you'd like to see more from, especially now that Duke's gone?
No doubt. Tony's going to get opportunities, and like everybody else, got to make the most of it.
Anything else? I've been asking players whatnot about leadership, Rhett, speaking just to the offense. And Rhett, Gus always said that he relies heavily on the seniors.
Yeah.
Seniors had said as much, and that's understandable, but is it at all frustrating from a coaching perspective that you can't cite one guy as the guy who's going to take things by the reins, whether that be quarterback or otherwise? Just everything is
Yeah.
there's 18 seniors and
I know what you're
just
asking.
1 or 2.
I don't know if it's frustrating. You look at 2013, early on, we didn't really know who the leaders were. And so as coaches, we got to help lead those guys. And we got to help lead those leaders, those guys who want to be leaders. You know, when you lose 8 starters coming into the season, there's a lot of new faces. Some of the guys that maybe are in that role, you know, maybe they're more of a quiet kind of guy or whatnot. And so there's all different kinds of leadership. But at the end of the day, those are the 11 guys on the field playing. When the play's called, regardless of what the call is, they're the ones out there playing. They got to play for each other, and they got to play together. And so, you know, as the season goes on, and we're almost to the halfway point, you'd like those guys to start emerging and lead each other.
Brett, when it comes to quarterback at this point, is it a thing where, I mean, given that Sean started the last 2 games, is it going to be more on Jeremy proving, hey, you deserve to win the job back, or are they just 100% actually even right now?
You know, it's going to be more on just who gives us the best chance to win, and you know, who's going to do what they're coached to do. And you know, right now protecting the football is a big thing for us at quarterback, and so we got to protect the football not only as an offense but a quarterback. And I believe in both those guys. I really do. We haven't played very good, you know. We haven't been good overall, but I haven't given up on them because I know what they've got in them, and I like the way they've approached practice lately and competing and preparing. And so all you can do is keep working and keep pushing through, and then make something happen.
When it comes to Jeremy's struggles from earlier in the year, have you and Gus kind of sat and talked about, were there signs like when he was fighting for the job in the springs, like, do we not see things, or just has everything that happened been a shock to you guys too?
We haven't overanalyzed it, and you know, he's not the first guy. I think someone told me a while back, Charlie Ward, I think threw 8 interceptions in his first couple games or something crazy like that. He went on to have a pretty good career. So, you know, it's the nature of the position. When your team's playing good, you get overpraised. When they're not, you get over criticized. It's the way it is with coaches. It's the way it is with everything. It's just part of it. You got to have thick skin, and you got to have a short memory. And so far, he's done a good job of that.
Tony Stevens, how's he doing? Is he going to have a chance to take advantage of this opportunity to play more?
Yeah, no doubt. All those guys will get more opportunities. Got to make the most of them.
Right, I mean, just Jeremy, these last 2 or 3 weeks, I think Gus said the other day he had some good weeks of practice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like the good Jeremy's kind of back, that he's that same guy again?
Has been, you know, it's like everything else. You practice is practice. We got to start making plays on Saturdays. So as a group,
But you feel like he's a more confident, insured guy out there?
I do.
All right, Rhett.
Thanks, Ray.
See you guys.